Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Dr. Arayeh with another Joyful Living show. I'm so honored that you're watching this video, and I'm so happy and excited that I have Dr. Nona Djavid from Orange County here with me. Thank you so much for accepting my invitation, Dr. Nona. Please introduce yourself a little bit and we jump into the topic.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. We have I have like 30-second introduction. Let's see. I live between Orange County and Rome, Italy. This was always a dream that I had. So I'm getting to live that dream now. I have two little boys, 4 and 8, and I help people because of my personal experience that I've gone through. I help people go from feeling stuck, feeling like overworked, like I'm putting in so much effort, but I'm only moving a tiny bit, or I feel even stuck and not moving. And I give them additional tools, additional to what's available traditionally, to be able to quantum leap into and the next level life that they want to accomplish.
Wow, I love that. I love that you are a quantum leap coach. That is so esoteric and mystic. So let's start with that. Tell us a little bit about that. What does that mean?
Yeah, absolutely. It what it really means is looking outside of the box, right? So, and my maybe I share a bit of my story if that's okay with you, because I think that brings all the pieces together. I was in private practice. I had a practice. I had a couple of different businesses. I had a weight loss business with 3 locations. I had a marriage, a child at a time, and I checked off all of these things that you're supposed to do that are like markers for success, right? So my life on paper looked really, really good, and I'd been working really hard. However, I was also unfulfilled, and I was tired. And while my businesses were successful, I was also a slave to my practices and my businesses. And I wasn't present enough with my children, or had guilt one way or another if I was at work or with the kids. And my marriage wasn't fulfilling either. So all of those different pieces that looked really great, that I'd worked hard, and it was what society, and especially in our culture, but really any culture, kind of puts you in that box, right? Like, go do these things and that's what life is about. And so I had to find, in the depth of that, sort of, I guess, depression or sadness or feeling like really helpless, I had to find something outside of the box. So for me, the transition between what we are told to do into, okay, wait a second, what is it that is a desire on my heart, maybe something I've been wanting to do since I was a child, maybe dreams I have had that life kind of beat out of me. Where's the magic in life? Where's the wonder in life that I used to have as a child? And so I started to get in touch with, what was it that I wanted to experience? Well, yes, I wanted to have kids that were joyful and free. I wanted to travel the world. I wanted adventure. I wanted an international life. I wanted just more juice out of life. And the hard work and the traditional ways of getting there just were not working for me. And so I started to study universal truths. I started to study a ton of quantum physics. I started to, get into this esoteric work, which I had a background in since I was 16. But I started to tap into that, and I realized there is a way to quantum leap, which means to accomplish something with collapsing time in a shorter period of time, and something that is juicy and outside of your normal life that people live. And ultimately, using those tools that I'd learned, I was able to create the life that I have right now. I'm in a beautiful partnership. I found the love of my life. I have two happy, healthy, free children, and I get to travel the world. Like I said, I live between Orange County and Italy. So all the things that I was dreaming about in the depth of darkness, I am getting to live them through this quantum leap process. And that's exactly what I teach my students.
Beautiful. So what I got from your words, what I really loved when you said you collapse time, and that's literally quantum. Like there is no time, and there is no time and space. This is just a man-made construct everywhere. So it's just believing, really, truly, truly understanding that it is possible to have that leap. And it's this world that we're living in, the 3D and world that we're living in. It's very linear. You have to do this and that, and it's very masculine, and it's,
Mhm.
you know, what the whole world is about that. And it really makes puts us in a kind of a fear mode all the time when you go on Instagram, right? It's like, oh, I have to do this, I have to do that, and I have to check this, and I have to. And when you're a woman, I was telling my husband, like, we have to do. A woman needs to be a man and a woman, really, in this world, because you have to do both. You have to make money and you have to take care of children. You have to take care of everything, right? So it's very important to understand, if I'm not mistaken, and then we can jump into those 3 tips that you can tell us, where to believe that there is another way, right? There is another way, because our linear logical brain doesn't want to believe it. So first we have to believe that the true reality of the world is not this. It's not this, you know, solid kind of Newtonian physics, you know, and it's really quantum based.
Yeah.
So tell us the first tip
Yeah.
that we can start. People can start taking the first step to go towards that life.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we all, underneath it all, know that there's something bigger, right? There's something bigger. We all have some level of understanding of that, or feeling, or intuitive, like you call it God, you call it universe, you call it infinite intelligence, you call it different things. But we all know there's something underneath it all. And you're right. It starts with the belief system, and it starts with believing in that possibility. So the very first thing that I did, which is my first tip, is I laid out exactly what I wanted to experience, even though at the time it seemed outrageous and impossible and kind of like absolutely insane, right? I was like, I don't care. If I'm going to dream, I'm going to dream big. As a matter of fact, now I teach. There's 3 kinds of dreams that I teach just in this one step one of this process, where the criteria for a juicy dream life, to be able to pull into your reality, the criteria is it has to be something where you don't know how to do it. You have no 3D tools to get there. So, and I have a guide actually on my Instagram if anybody wants to go grab it. But the very first step, just like you said, is believing in the possibility that if you have a desire, then it's yours. And you just need to just sit down and contemplate the crap out of it and dream really big. So, without that, if you don't have a vision, and I call this an elevated life vision, if you don't have that, then you don't have direction. The how is not going to come to you, and there's going to be missing pieces. And I know we're short on time, so I want to make
I love
sure.
that. That was perfect. So I would add a little bit to that. It's just one of the first assignments I give to my clients is to list 10 things that you really want in 4 aspects of life: health, relationships, success, and spirituality. And to be honest, this is the hardest assignment, because we don't know we don't what we truly want and what we truly don't want. So
Yeah.
the first step is to actually know, if you want a, I don't know, partnership, what you don't want in that partnership, and what you do want. So we have to really contemplate on that. And it's like I always say, it's like you order from the Amazon, right? You need to know what to order from the Amazon, and then you let go of the how. As you said, we're not going to go to the Amazon facility, go to different companies and get the product and package it and bring it as a driver. It just comes to our door. We don't know the how, we just order. But we have to be super clear about that, and
Mhm.
super clear about the emotions of having those things. Love it. So let's go to number 2.
Okay, number 2, I love how this is flowing because you mentioned emotions, right? And you know this better than anybody else, and this is a familiar concept for a lot of people who do self work. But the idea is we have these emotional addictions, right? Like I grew up with a stressed out mom, so of course that's like something that's comfortable for me. I used to be, not as much anymore. I don't have enough time. I'm stressed out. I got to build this. I got to do this, right? The do. And that is my emotional home. And some people have their emotional home, or their addictions are, and we probably all have a version of it, say lack of self worth. I'm not good enough. I don't have enough. I got to do more things, or whatever the case might be. Now, if that's my emotional addiction, well, there is no way if I live here, if that's my emotional home, there's no way I can get to this vision. Those two are not vibrational match to one another. So quantum physics says you really only attract the things that you are a vibrational match to. So I in step 1 I write out this beautiful vision, and well, if I'm most of the time showing up in anxiety and stressed out and not enoughness, it's just, you're gonna just not gonna make that bridge happen. So in step 2 is figuring out the emotions that go together with the vision and expressing and feeling those emotions over and over again. So in step 1, I have a process I walk people through where you actually identify the emotional signature of that dream. So what's the vibrational emotional signature of the dream that you worked on? And then in step 2, you go, how can I be in that state all the time? So you know, with those 3 emotions, for some people, and I when I work with people, those emotions are so different from one person to another. And so identifying those emotions and, you know, tapping into them as much as you can is going to be step 2.
Beautiful, love it. So I always say the universe is a yes machine, right? So if I'm feeling stressed and I'm feeling deep inside that okay, I have to do more, I have to be, you know, really on top of everything. The universe says yes, you have to do that, and you got to do that. But if
Yeah.
you believe, as you said, and if you live those beliefs, as you said, like
Yeah.
throughout the day as much as we can. I always say put reminders at least once an hour, get to those feelings and elevate yourself to those higher vibration, so you can receive what your desire is. As Paulo Coelho says, when you want something, the whole universe conspires to give it to you, but first we have to really want it and know that
Mhm.
you're worthy of it. So
Mhm.
number 3, we have 2 minutes.
Okay, 2 minutes. So much pressure. No, this one's actually easy to explain, but I believe this is where we fail most of the time. If we get step 1 and 2 done, right? Step 1, have a vision, identify it, write it down, spend some time on it. Step 2, figure out what are the emotions. And step 3 is just like what you described, have a practice in which you are continuously living from a space of wish fulfilled, living from a place of this vision. If I wrote it down and if I was really authentic with myself when I wrote it down, it must be mine. And just like you said, beautifully quoted, is that the universe is going to conspire to bring all of that into my life. And if that's the case, step number 3, all you have to do is repeat living life from a place of wish fulfilled, as if you already have that vision. It's unfolding every day, whether you are on a Zoom call with this beautiful doctor right here, whether you will get an email, you respond to whether you're making your coffee, you're making breakfast for your kids, no matter what you're doing, your vision every moment is unfolding for you. But repeating and living your life as if the wish is already fulfilled and in a new set of emotions that are not stressed out, not anxious and not enough, not from that place, but from a place of, say, gratitude, love, freedom, and joy, then you are ultimately a vibrational match for your dream. And next thing you know, life is unfolding exactly as you wanted it.
I love it. I feel so good when I talk about manifestation. Thank you so much. Talk to me all the time, Dr. Nona. I loved it. It's so beautiful. So Rumi, our Persian poet, right? He says, "What you seek is seeking you."
Totally.
And knowing this,
Mhm.
and to bring up that vibration, I think one of the tips to really stay there, because sometimes it's really hard, as you said, the first 2 steps, we have to work on it. And I think I've heard like 5 minutes right before you fall asleep also, manifest at that time. That's the best time because our brainwave frequency is very low. But also to use and use that word, to use the word, to use gratitude, to use that word, right? Throughout the day, we have to bring up, focus on what we have already, so we can elevate our frequencies, and then we can really manifest and visualize what we want. And if it's really hard to visualize what we want, so we really experience and cherish
Mhm.
and relish in what we already have and feel grateful. Thank you so much, Dr. Nona. This
Thank
was delightful. Thank you. Thank you. For those of you who speak Farsi, we're going to do a Farsi one right now. Have a wonderful day. And please follow Dr. Nona. Leave your questions for us. And I love you all. Thank you, Dr. Nona. Love you.
you. Thank you.